Welcome back, everybody, to a late. Well, shit, it's late for me, but not for y'all. Welcome to a late night show, man. You know what I mean? And man, we got a good show tonight. And I want to first of all thank everybody. I know we had people that were pending in the chat that were waiting, and everything like that. But tonight we're having a show called "Do Black Women Forgive White Men for Saying Racist Stuff?" And I don't know if you guys heard. What's somebody tell me what's these little twins name? The McClure twins? What they called?
Yeah, it's the McClure twins.
McClure twins. Okay.
McClure is the father.
Okay. So we got this situation where there's McClure twins, they like mixed, like half Nigerian, half white. This white dude said some racist things about black women a long time ago. And there are a lot of women that are black women out here defending them. And then we're gonna contrast that to when black men say some of the same things. So we want to know, are white men getting a preference? We have a wonderful panel. We have Aaron, we got LAR, we got Mr. Research, and we have Meta Tomorrow. Let me go ahead and start off with my brother Aaron and see if he want to say something, man. Aaron, go ahead and let everybody know what's up, man. Where you from? I mean, not where you let them know where you're from and all that, but just introduce yourself, player.
Oh yeah, man. Aaron here, man. Filmmaker, world traveler. Just got back from Dominican Republic. It was nice. And I haven't heard too much about this. I heard a little bit about it. I think Tariq Nasheed might have touched on it, okay, about the McClure twins. I guess he was said some racist things back in the day.
Okay, right.
Something like that. And I think his wife is trying to, co-sign for him, which is pretty much the norm. When it comes to women and them dating, white guys, they've heard it all. In arguments, the white guys will call them the N-word, and they be having, rough slave fantasy sex and shit. So it's just it's nothing new to me. I didn't expect anything of it. She's not going to leave him, she's not going to say anything about it. So it's not surprising to me, really.
Okay. All right. So shout out to brother Aaron. Let's go ahead to the next person. Y'all know who that is, man. That's LARMOVEMENT with the Jerry curl. LAR, man, I use your name for views, brother. So that's what I do, because when I put the LAR movement, they know it's going to be a good show. So welcome back, man. It's good to have you here, brother.
Man, just let my soul glow. I mean, it is, to me, man, it is what it is, man. This is par for the course when it comes to this particular topic. It happens. They're going to cape for it. And at the end of the day, they're going to blame us. That's how it goes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get more into that. Shout out to Mr. Research. He in the building. It's hard for me to get him these days, man. I've been sending him 33,000 emails, man, but he's too big time for me. I'm just a little fry out here, man. But we got him tonight for a few minutes. What's going on, Mr. Research?
Man, life is great here at the family reunion. Everything is good, but I want to touch down on this show and throw some of my concepts out there and see what sticks.
Okay. All right, cool. So we definitely gonna have you on tonight, man. And last but definitely not least, man, that's the most known unknown. He don't have a YouTube channel, but everybody knows who he is. It's Meta Tomorrow. What's going on, MOT? Did he leave? Or did he mute himself?
No, sorry, man. I muted myself. Oh, what's going on, man? This is a real good topic. It's a real good topic.
Okay. Let me
I've seen this stuff, especially up close in the military, man. You would not believe the stuff we have to respond to when the dynamics of the household is white male, black woman.
Let's start with you, Meta Tomorrow. Before we kind of even get into the topic, let's kind of start with that. You said in the military there's some dynamics. What can you be more specific in what you're talking about?
I mean, the dynamics of the things that have transpired and that are said, in front of us as a cop. It was shocking to me, but this is a daily basis thing for them. If those type of guys go there, I mean, they go there in front of everybody. It doesn't matter who's present. Whether it's the law, whether it's their family members, it don't matter. So, yeah, So this is how they operate, man.
Okay.
And no, they're gonna defend who they respect. Really, I mean, you can't really blame them for the situation that they put themselves in, and they pay a heavy price for it. Every time an argument starts, they pay a price for it. They
When
let
you
them
say
know
they, who is they?
the women who engage in these types of relationships, who have those type of husbands who engage in this type of rhetoric.
Uh-huh.
They're very open about it. And this ain't something that happens just magically after the marriage. This happens in the relationship phase, very early.
Can you give me some examples of what kind of things happen? Because I know there have been situations like there's one girl that she recorded her boyfriend saying some things about blacks, and then I remember that. But go ahead. What can you give me some examples?
All right, which is very rare, but you had like a black police commander in a squadron. That's what they're called in the Air Force anyway.
Okay.
In Europe. So we had to respond to this situation where this white dude was pretty much tearing up base housing. You know, that's pretty normal for them Saturday night. So walking there, and he was just inward this, inward that. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Because she was like, well, and so we respond, and I'm there. So this lady, you know, runs up to me. Oh, you got to defend me against this guy. I'm like, oh, hold on. I mean, because we knew who the guy was, because, you know, we've been to the house 30, 40 times last year. We're on a new year. This is my second time going to the house, so I know who it is. But she tried to play me like I'm some simp, like I'm about to believe everything that she had to say just because I was black, right? And so I was supposed to go through and be harsh toward this dude because he was white. In this specific case, you know, she had cut him or some stuff like that with like a knife. You know, they're both in the military, so, you know, she gets in no trouble. They find some way to sweep it under the rug. And that dude was just out there in rare form. And they live in like base housing with like 6 other people, and he the only person who's white. You know, and they're like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, he acts like that all the time. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they never really get in, like, he never really got in any trouble. Like, you would respond to somebody black in base housing, dude, the first time, dude, they're going to get the max time. Every time you get the max time if you're black or if you're a cop. And if you're black and a cop and you're doing something wrong, boy, heaven help you. But that's how it is, man. These women go through a lot. And they go through a lot quickly. So.
Okay. Let me do this real quick. Let me get the likes. So I'm just now checking 111 people. Somebody super chatted. That was Taboo. Open panel, Shay. Let me get the panel under control for right now. And then I'll try to let people on a little bit later. But as of right now, let me just, keep it as it is to see how we get the flow going. And for those people who want to get on, I'll let opportunities people come on a little bit later. So let me do this. Let me go to brother Mr. Research. You made some videos about this. I'm gonna let you kind of freestyle it. What has been your thoughts about this whole situation? And are black women showing more forgiveness to white people or white men for saying the same thing? Because we remember Stephon Clark said something very similar. And it was all, oh, he's a coon, he's all this. But the white man said something similar. They were forgiving him. What's the difference, Mr. Researcher? What are we missing here?
Look, the difference is, and I'm about to give you a black solution. We as black men have to stop caring so much. Mm-hmm. I understand what you guys or what people in the chat room, but here's what's happening. Here's the outcome of us hating them for any of that. The image of the black man gets dragged down with it. If you a manager, if you a business owner, if you somebody that got to open up a store at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., you don't want to get up, but you got to get out here and hustle and make this money and sell your product, you can care less what goes on with them. This is why I coined this phrase, the BMC. The black male community. The black male community has to focus on itself. I've been saying that since 2007 when I had manhood lessons. You got to focus on yourself. The man is the prize. Yes, these white guys are doing this because they have these black counterparts who allow it to happen. But let's flip it for a minute. The weak black dudes who are with racist white females. But they don't find out about it until they a little bit more broke than what they used to be. They don't find out about it until you're Tim Duncan and you no longer can have the money coming in that you used to have. They find out about it when you're Hainsworth and you're getting slapped around by your white woman. Let's keep it honest. Let's have a hallelujah moment.
Okay.
Because if we're going to be intellectual and logical, we could sit up here, all these black women are monkeys, apes, all this other stuff. But then we start sounding like the Ku Klux Klan. The best solution for us is to focus on our self-improvement, hiring each other, getting each other in positions, because the strength of these white guys saying this stuff is the fact that they're not scared of any black dudes holding them financially accountable. If you say something about a Jewish person right now, you're going to get a Jewish lawsuit. You ain't going to get a bunch of Jewish people on the internet complaining. You're going to get an actual lawsuit. If you say something about an Irish dude, a Scottish dude, you're going to get a Scottish lawsuit. Black men have to get to the point to where we take information like what has happened with Justin McClure. We go live our lives, and when some black woman tries to say, "You brothers, hey sister, I'm just protecting me because just like sisters protected Justin McClure, I just gotta protect me." When you throw information like that back in their face, not this apes, monkeys, just real base information, I gotta protect me. Sorry, deuces. I'm gonna wolf away, deuces. Then we're good. Because you're telling them, because you say these things, because you disrespect the BMC, I have to separate myself. So I'm kind of okay with the white dudes saying these things, and I'm kind of okay with the black women having their response, because it gives me ammunition to not deal with those people. It gives me ammunition to go do other things. I know that sounds strange to some people, but I'm all about power and dominating. I'm not about trying to reason why these knuckleheads are doing what he's doing. Let's get together and throw a lawsuit if we're really serious about it.
Let me ask you this real quick, because what I hear, or I've heard some videos, and some are quite entertaining. I mean, I can't say that they're not, because I do laugh sometimes when I hear some of these dudes' videos. But I have heard in other videos some dudes referring to these sorts of women as bed wenches. And I have seen, I'm trying to understand why is that so important to these dudes? But every time one of these women do something, they call these, you black women are bed wenches, all that. What would you say to those brothers who want to spend so much time calling them names or all of that?
Here's the thing, man. That makes us look powerless. Yes, you have a point. They are bed wenches. Yes, you have a point. Some men are beta males. Some men are simps. I'm flipping it on the other side. So yes, you have a point. But if that's all we're going to do in the BMC is verbally express our pain, if that's all we're going to do in the BMC is verbally say something, call somebody a name when we don't understand. Look, I don't understand why O'Shea Duke Jackson has his own site. So because I don't understand it, I'm gonna call O'Shea a name, because I don't like O'Shea. And back in 2014, O'Shea made a video that I didn't like. One video. So what? Why must you always express that? Wolf rule number 1, control your tongue. So my point is, yes, they may be those things that we call them, but we got to get past that. We got to be on some power. The Chinese man gets disrespected by the Chinese woman way more than the black man gets disrespected by the black woman. But you don't know that because you don't expose yourself to the Chinese culture and some of the conversations that they have. Mm-hmm. My point is, brother, calling people names is just it's too time consuming. And we as black men, we have to build stuff with each other at a greater rate. Mm-hmm. Then we have to call somebody a simp or a beta male. We're not achieving nothing like that. We just feel good by saying it.
No, I mean, I definitely would agree with that. Okay, let me do this real quick. Let me, guys, go ahead. 165 people watching right now, brothers. Do me a favor and get the likes up on the video. I'll keep the hangout going for a few hours for those people who want to get on. I will let other people on tonight too. So like the video, we only have 52 likes. We have more than that watching right now. Come on in and like the video as you're coming in. Let's go ahead and go to my brother LAR, man, and let him weigh in on it. Thou player.
Well, let's just keep it. Let me keep this honest as I can keep it. This happens frequently. That's why I said it's par for the course. These women who are with these guys, they ain't going nowhere. These women who defend this stuff, they want to be with a man like that, and they're not going to go nowhere. So, you know, what is there really to be mad about? Like, if it's not this one, what? I remember they had the thing with the comedian's wife. They thought she was out of line. They had the one, you know, who was it? The girl you was talking about on World Star. They had I remember the Curry Champion Sage Steele stuff before. You know, you can go to Halle Berry. She was one way with black dudes and another way with white dudes. And I mean, you could really go on and on. Like even old girl CK, when she broke down crying because the dude was like, "We don't like y'all like that." At the end of the day,
the Veganator, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like this happens a lot. You know, a lot. And I think one of the differences, it's not a bit, it's a difference, but it depends on how you look at it. When they talk about guys who do this, the guys aren't normally with black chicks who say stuff like that. They're actually with another race of women, normally. You know, and you know, the women who stay in these relationships, they're with the guy who's calling them that to their face. You know, and they have kids with these guys. They say it's all right. You know, they disparage black men because of it. Even old girl, the twin, the Mari twin, she do the same stuff. Like, for us black men, we should know how this go. We should know how this is gonna go. She gets treated bad. White men apologizes. Black women say it's not that bad. And then everybody says it's black men's fault that she got called a nigga. That's what it's going to be. So let them people be.
Let me ask you something. Why do you think these black women stay in these relationships?
I mean, I have no idea. I just find it weird.
Can I answer?
Yeah, hold on a second, Mr. Richard. Before you were answering, let me get to.
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it short. Q, just you got to mute
real quick. But go ahead, LAR, and then we go to we'll let him respond. Go ahead. Sorry, LAR, and then we'll let Mr. Research quickly respond because we want to get to Aaron. But go ahead, LAR.
I can't say, but it's funny to me because people treat brothers like Joe Jackson as abusive and El DeBarge daddy like he ain't do nothing. So I think they can get away with whatever because that's what they want. I think they want that whatever whiteness. So I'm done, Q. You got it.
Go ahead, and we'll go to Aaron after this. Go ahead, Mr. Research. Is he there?
Yeah, Chelsea's still there. He's muted.
And the white man got his foot on his neck. White man.
Okay, you had a family reunion, man. You know how black people talk.
He is in Milwaukee somewhere, man. So you might have got pulled over. You know how. Nigga had them cream pants on, so he looked like he might be out there, you know, smuggling something. You know what I'm saying? So he probably seen them and pulled his ass over. So look, let me just do this real quick, man. Shout out to everybody. I'm gonna read your super chats here in a second, bro. Thank you so much. Get the likes up. 28 likes takes us to 100. Let me go to Aaron real quick. Aaron, let me ask you this. In AM1 and the other brother, AM1, I tried to send you the link earlier. I'm gonna bring you on here in just a second. Let me do this in the other brother that requested to get on, because I initially sent this one to you before AM1. Let me ask you this real quick. LARMOVEMENT makes the point that these black women want these white men. What is it about these white men that why do you think black women are preferring some of these women, right? Why are they preferring white men over us?
May I?
Oh, go ahead, Elliot. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead real quick, Mr. Research. We're gonna go to Aaron, but go ahead, Research.
All right. So here's the real reason, and let me throw some honesty. White guys are providing stability.
Exactly.
We many times like to use the word gold digging. It's not really gold digging.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at Boaz in the Bible created his own stuff before this chick even came along. You have too many dudes who are not creating their own stuff before this chick comes along. Mm-hmm. You got too many dudes who need the 50-50 help of this chick. And when this chick don't want to operate the way his mama told him a chick should be operating, if he opened doors, pay for everything, then he got a problem. The thing is, you got to have this way of thinking of where I'm going to create my own jungle, my own tribe, my own situation. You bring your breast, your nice big butt, and you follow the rules that I want you. You don't want to do that? No problem. There's a dark-skinned black woman in Grenada who will. You don't want to do that? No problem. There's a chick over in Trinidad who will. You don't want to do that? No problem. There's a chick in Gary, Indiana who will. These women are going to white guys, because white guys, they don't have to work hard to get their jobs like we do. They just show up with blue eyes. These white guys, they don't have to work hard to get family money and get property left to them for just waking up white. These white guys, they don't have to do those things. And this is why people get mad at me. White guys hire white guys. Let's keep that 100.
Okay.
White guys hire white guys. And I'll wrap it up by saying that's the power of, oh, that white guy is safe. Mm-hmm. That white guy, I don't have to really work it. I can do what I want to do, and this white guy will do X, Y, and Z. But what they don't realize, a white guy will trade you in faster. A white guy will leave you quicker. White guys went from 12% in 2004 down to 4% in 2015. White guys have a higher divorce rate than every other group, according to the Department of Justice, not the census, the Department of Justice. So I say that's the reason.
Okay. Let me do this real quick. Let me shout out to the super chats here. We're going to also let's say if the other brother let's see, the other guy that wanted to come on. I'm gonna send me your email, man. I'm gonna send you the link. But let me just do this real quick. Shout out to everybody. 239 people watching. Thank you so much, man, for everybody supporting. Let me go ahead and get the likes up on the video. We need your brothers supporting with the likes. Okay, let me do this. Ted Randolph, narrative that blacks have a lot less than whites is being pushed more. Like, how can you be treated as anything close to within that relationship dynamic when the white family knows they're losing? Larry and Mallory have never seen black women turn down a non-black man. Wayman Brown, shout out to that panel tune in. What up, black male talk? Black women will get with white men because black women with white men because black men seek white approval. I think he meant to say, oh, okay. Marcus, Hotep, Taboo TV. So Taboo TV, if you want to come on, guys who want to come on, I'll get you in gradually. But again, we got a mic heavy podcast, people. So I'll bring you in slowly. But AM1 and Taboo for right now, I'll bring those two people on, and then gradually we'll work our way in. But let me go. Shout out to my brother Aaron Ferris. Aaron, why do you think? And you've been, you know, like I said, to Brazil, you've been in certain different places. Why do you think that? Because research made some good points that black men are not really creating stability. And me and you talked about that when I was in Rio for a long time.
Yeah.
Why do you think that black women are looking at white guys? Or should I say, do you think that black women have more respect for white men than us?
Yeah, most definitely. And Mr. Research was exactly right. He took the number one answer to your question was resources, right? And they see white guys, they see resources. But I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna also say it's the European standard of beauty. And why I say that is a lot of black women won't mix children. Let's just keep it real. When they see that white guy, they instinctively thinking like, okay, I can have a lighter child with quote unquote good hair that's going to already be set up for success. He's going to already have, you know, houses and real estate passed down to him. So that's another reason that a lot of sisters, you know, look at white guys. When they look at white guys, look at black men, they look at us almost totally in a different way, really. When they look at us, you know, they're looking at us, you know, they always got to say, oh, he fine, girl. You know, he got to be this, he got to be that, he got to be 6'2", 6'3", whatever. Mm-hmm. But with a white guy, any white guy would do damn near. Any white guy would do. And the funny thing is, sometimes it backfires. Sometimes that white guy might not have as many resources as she thought. And that's when a lot of the problems come into play. Because that white guy's thinking that, okay, you know, she loves me for me, but in reality, she's just with him for the resources. If you take the resources away and, you know, the legacies away that these white guys have, I don't think sisters would even look at these white guys like that in comparison to brothers. If we had the resources, I think it would be a wrap. If we had the resources, I think a lot of white women, the majority of them would come to the black side of the table.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's some strong points. You know what? Here's also what I want to say, though. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to ask you this again, Aaron. But, you know, I feel like this. If you take a black man with equal resources and a white man with equal resources and equal looks and all of that, that black woman is going to have still more respect for that white man. I mean, I don't know. That's just what I feel. Am I wrong when I say that, man? Because I've been in situations where
you're not at all. It's just the fact that we have this European education as well. We have this Western education. They're learning about white guys, you know, conquering the world and all this shit, and all they know about us is slavery, basically. So that, you know, plays a factor as well. Okay. I mean, O'Shea, this has been going on for a long time, man. This is a book called Daughters of the Trade. And, you know, that's about basically Danish merchants and, you know, African women with interracial, you know, relationships on the coast that had a lot to do with slavery because they used those children, those offspring, to basically enslave, you know, the rest of the darker population. But the funny thing about that, this is the funny thing about it, it was illegal in Europe. Interracial relationships was illegal in Europe. But it was okay in Africa. So we got to ask ourselves, like, why? You know, why did we allow that? Like, why as African men are we okay with letting our women date interracially when in Europe they didn't allow it?
Mm-hmm. Let me do this real quick. I see AM1 showed up. Taboo TV, bro. I don't know your email. I'm trying to find your email, man. So if you're still there, email me from your email. I'll send you links. I'm trying to send you a link right now. But let me do this. Let me go to Man of Tomorrow, and then we go to AM1 real quick. MOT. Do you feel black women and you're a successful dude. Do you feel that black women on average have more respect for white men than us?
They have more respect for white men on average that are on the same level as black men, or even lower than black men in most cases. Mm-hmm. It's like I said. I mean, this is a preference of theirs, and they're very open about it. I'm okay with it, but it's just that a lot of them they have this preference. Like, okay, you can give them a black guy who probably makes way more money, but they still want to be under somebody else's leadership and act properly. Like right now, I'm in Connersville, Indiana. I have to meet with a client tomorrow,
Okay.
right? And I walk to the Walmart. Now this is a super small town. We're talking about less than 3,000 people. Maybe there's two factories in this city. The amount I've seen three black women in these stores. I'm talking about super dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about beautiful. I'm talking about looking fantastic. Hair in order, nails done, everything. Mixed race children. 3 out of 3. And those same women would probably not take the weave out their head and be doing other types of things. It's like they put on their best foot for people who they want to be with. And if they were in a situation where they wasn't going after those dudes,
Mm-hmm.
that they would act a totally another way. Now I know on average, especially we're talking about 3 different ones in a small town in a Walmart. Well, Walmart's kind of like where everybody congregate, but the point is just that you just don't see that on average for black women, for black men in the same group. I mean, super fit, everything. We're talking about a small town here,
Mm-hmm.
and you would never be able to go into a black community anywhere in the country where you would find odds like that. That's 100%, 3 out of 3. So they have way more respect for a white guy, no matter what his station is, upper or lower. I mean, because there's girls who get with, Jeffs and Chads who are, who are working Walmart material and still kind of find themselves, at least on the surface, look like they think that they're happier with those guys. So they just have more respect for them. And hey, you have to give it the reasons why. Like Mr. Research said, they're there for the stability and the security. And
Mm-hmm.
on average, most black men just don't provide that. But at the end of the day, if you concentrate on your own stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry about them. You don't. So
Yeah, let me do this. It's a good point. Shout out to brother K Love. There's this lady in there, JB Back. Now to be fair, y'all who know who this is, I've seen her on Obsidian show before, but anyways, we'll talk about her in a minute. But let me go to my brother AM1, and then we can go to LA. We'll go to LAR. But AM1, welcome back, man. We missed you. Congratulations, man, on winning the NBA championship and Steph Curry. We know that you are both people. During the NBA season, you Steph on this show, you AM1. But shout out to you. What's your take on this whole situation? I don't know if you're abreast of it, but do you know about what happened with this whole situation?
No, I mean, I kind of popped in late on the topic. I've been working like crazy. I've been trying to get up with you on some of these streams and whatnot. I'm in the town out here getting it in, making it happen. Peace to the brothers on the chat, first and foremost. No, what's going on? What am I missing out on? I mean, I'm abreast on the whole swirler bullshit, but
So basically, there's this interracial family on YouTube called the McClure twins, and it's a white dude and this Nigerian chick. I think she got like a blonde weave or something. Like it's ridiculous. Anyways, they got these two blonde twins, and they got like almost 1 million. They got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And so, shout out to brother Exclamatic, man, and Caleb. Thank you, brothers, for your support. So the white dude used to be a comedian, and he made some racist comments about black women like a few years ago. They found it, and then the black women who are like in the interracial dating, they're trying to like, oh, it wasn't racist. Oh, it's so long ago. Oh, it's all of this. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to protect the dude, basically, from what he said, but now had that be like Stephen Clark or something like that, saying the same thing, they will call him a coon, all this shit. So what do you think about like, these black women who are really protecting this white guy?
man, look, this whole thing is stupid because what I'm seeing, There's so many levels to this. Since I've been in, I heard Q and I heard Aaron Ferris and MOT all drop gems. And I'll just touch back on a couple of points they made. White men, white people in general have been set up for decades, centuries to have more resources than we have. Not to mention the thing that I'll always hit people over the head with media, the mass media, the mainstream media, that they own and control. They get to propagate what images we all see. Ultimately, it's mind control, it's social conditioning. So obviously, there's a certain level to where all of, black men and women will have a certain mental place in their hearts for white folks. I mean, it's just what it is. By way of sheer repetition, the science proves that. There's no way to argue that. And a lot of women will agree and say it. Cynthia G said it. Some dude on one of her streams said it. And then she still turns around and says, why do black men go for the white women? When black men do it, it's swirling and it's all this drama and headache, because ultimately women just want to have it their way. Jump up and down, have it their way. Jump up and down, have it their way. Black men are doing the same shit they're doing. We all types of raggedy niggas and swirlers and beta males. But when they do it, they make up every excuse to make it okay, just because it's about how they feel. They just want to feel how they feel and throw logic out the window. And that's just ridiculous. It's ultimately real immature. Now, if we put that on a social political type scale on the level of, can a white man marry a black woman, when we know in his past he said things about black women and black women are ready to brush that off just for the sheer sake of they care more about that emotional ego stroke appeasement than they do about how they're actually being viewed and respected by men, whether white men or black men. They're really standing on a rug and pulling it from under themselves at the same time. It's ridiculous. I mean, intelligent black men just kind of got to sit back and laugh at that, because then they'll still come back around even despite this and say, oh, y'all fucking with other races of women, y'all on some swirler shit. I'm like, but you guys are big up in this type of shit going on. Serena Williams or whichever one, a tennis player chicks, you know what I mean? They big up that shit, but then got everything to say about black men doing the exact same shit. Or I guess we're the cause of it, so now this is their retaliation. I'm like, bruh, look, are black women as a whole wanting better men, or where's the real good men, the real black men? Do you want real black men who are just about trying to be with you and fit social norms, or real good black men who are trying to further the status of our people? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it about your emotions and how it's making you feel, or is it about true progress for the collective? Like, it's a bunch of bullshit, man. I see right through it. Intelligent black men are seeing through it. And a lot of black women need to really peep game on this, because it's what am I trying to say? It's hurting their position in their argument. You know what I mean? Somebody tries to argue with you and their arguments aren't even founded on anything that has any real logic to it. He's going to sit back and laugh. You can only just give him a little head pat. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
You actually are saying some great things, man. That's why I like my brother AM. He's him and LAR. They're the balance over here on the channel, man. So you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rusty Balls. Rusty, man, I'll offer you an invitation if you want to get on. King Chad, LOL, keeping it 100, homie. But put some respect on the name Chad. LOL. Thank you, brother, for the $10 super chat. My boy Exclamatic, man. Let me borrow one of them biceps players so I can go to the club. You know what I'm saying? So I can act like I got something. I'm working with something. You know what I'm saying? For a secret, this is starting to sound like a pity party now. Pity party how? Okay, let me wait.
Oh, sorry. Before you go to the next thing, let's circle back on this topic, or just this portion of it. But the idea of some gems I can drop on this specifically. 40 years of me being a light skinned ass Steph Curry looking dude, I can give you guys some perspectives on this about how black women look at black men from the perspective of me being pretty much the lightest dude on this panel. We don't have to get into it right now, but keep that in mind if you want to circle back on that.
Oh, okay. You're talking about skin tone.
Exactly.
Okay. We'll do that. Hold on one second. Let me hold on a second, Mr. Research. Let me get to LAR real quick and we'll come right to you. Go ahead, LAR.
I just thought about something that AM was talking about.
Hotep.
And I thought about something that Q was talking about too. I'm gonna keep it in the pocket with this.
Okay.
When he brought up Serena, the dude that Reddit website had racist stuff going on.
Oh, nothing but.
That whole site is a haven for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was no problem with that. I remember what is it, the chick that just got married in England, when they had the auntie that had the black thing going to the party. That was some racist shit, but they didn't have a problem with that. What was the other chick who was getting patted in the video by the Reverend? You know, he was playing in her hair, and the girls were like, "Oh, that was so cute," and people was like, "Yo, that's not what you want that dude to be doing right now." It's no problem with that, and the irony, and I get what Q was talking about with those guys are stability, but a lot of times, and from what I see, like publicly, as far as public figures, and even when I see interracial dating between black women and white men, when I go out, normally she has more than he does. Like normally,
I just wrote that down. Fuck.
I'm sorry. Normally, it's just like, you know, it's the irony of Pookie and Ray Ray, but Pookie and Ray Ray could be white. You know.
Wow.
You know.
Oh, he took my idea. Damn.
Sorry.
No, it's good. That's why you're smart.
It's the same because I know women like this who, you know, if you black, like I have a homegirl, she'd be like, you know, if you black, she got all these criteria. But if you white, you could pass if you wear nail polish. And I'm like, how you go from this dude having to be like Ray Lewis to this dude being like a punk rocker with green nail polish? Like what? How do you make this jump? And you know, to a degree, it's just that's what they want. You know, I look at it like what's acceptable for a black woman if she wants a black man is somebody who is middle linebacker, penitentiary scary. What's acceptable if you're a white guy is, I mean, they don't have a problem with, like, they say Matthew McConaughey is sexy and Brad Pitt is sexy, but if they were black, they'd be too short. But I digress. One other thing. Okay. I appreciate y'all getting Boogie, Steph. That wasn't cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Let me do this real quick. I gotta shout people out before we go to Mr. Research. Uncle High Def, what's going on, man? This is what I also noticed, man, because I'm gonna do a video about this less than stellar white men. That's gonna be a classic tomorrow, okay? Because listen, I came out with a classic today. The Pookie ain't gonna make it syndrome test, okay? So if you want to find out how to, you know, I've been coming out with them, but this is what I also found out. One of the ladies, like, that's really big in this whole, let's say, swirling situation. She is dating a dude. Like, I can see if you're gonna date a white guy because they gonna provide for you better, then at least get a white guy who's at least respected by those white guys. I mean, if that's what you're gonna say, and that would be the same thing I would say to black men who say, well, I guess when it comes to what men want is different than women, right? We just want somebody that's gonna get with our program. But for you to get with a white dude who on paper is less than motherfucking stellar, like this dude, that is the McClure twins' dad. This nigga was an alcoholic I mean, you know, if it wasn't for YouTube, he wouldn't be shit. You know what I'm saying? And really, when she met him, could she really deal? Her Nigerian family, would they have let her date an African American? Like, yo, he's an African American dude. He's a struggling comedian. He's an alcoholic. He don't have shit. I mean, when you think about the kind of white guys these women are chasing or they get with, these dudes are wanting. These motherfuckers are, for the most part, losers. You know what I'm saying? And when they make the case that these guys can provide more for you, you out here struggling with this motherfucker too. Like one of them, I don't want to get on the dude's career that he does, but this dude, he ain't no top dude. And you talking about black women to expand their options, but you still getting with. I mean, come on, you ain't. I mean, like, look, motherfuckers selling what, car insurance or whatever. Stop playing with me. For real, don't play with me like that. Like, for real, how many brothers out there that drive trucks do better than that? You know what I'm saying? As if you can't find a black man that's doing more than what that motherfucker's doing. Let's be real. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead. I'm gonna read your super chat real quick. Howlin' Thunder. What's going on, Dr. O'Shea? Shout out to the panel. Interesting topic. Got to watch this show later because I'm getting my fun and drink on right now. Hotep, brother. What up, player? Man, that brother always supporting. Go ahead, brother, Mr. Research.
All right. So here's the thing, and this is why people are saying it's a pity party. Why do we care? Somebody said to me, "Hey, Q, why are you not with this type of woman and that type of woman?" Because I'm a busy brother and I need a female that can understand my rules. I'm not a broke dude. I'm not a dude that needs to negotiate. I don't need you to do 50-50 on the rent. None of that. I'm living my life doing my thing. And if I fall in love with you, and I have no problem falling in love, talking romance, the whole thing. But your independence, the fact that you an engineer woman, the fact that you a lawyer female, none of that matters in my world.
Say it again.
I really believe.
Didn't hear it. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
The fact that you an independent woman, the fact that you a lawyer, an engineer, none of that matters. And too many of us black men are talking about, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? We as the BMC have to stop caring why. We need to use the ammunition to say, hey, matter of fact, let me back up. When you go to France, I used to live in France in 93. When you go to France, you'll see black dudes with all nationalities. You'll see black French females begging for attention of other nationalities. Here's why that happened. In 92, it was a lot of black on black love in France. A lot of people don't know that. What happened was the same thing that happened here. French black women started saying, oh, the black French man isn't good enough, and da. So what ended up happening? They started chasing a white Frenchman. There was a Chrislyn Harrison type of woman in France preaching white dudes are better because they have the infrastructure. But to your point, O'Shea, they was getting the lower level types of white guys. When you look at Chrislyn Harrison, she has a lower level type of white guy. The same white guy she has is the equivalent of the black man that she was criticizing. She had to uplift her white husband for 3 years before he got a job to be able to take care of them. A lot of people don't know that. So my point in saying that is, just like in France, this was happening. So the black women were going after the white Frenchman. Well, the lower class white French lady was like, I might as well get some black penis. I've been dreaming about it since I was 12. and here's what happened. Here's what happened. Over the couple of decades, now it's hard for you to find black on black love in France. The white women are chasing black dudes, African immigrants, whatever the case may be, and the black French ladies cannot find the type of dudes they thought they could. We have to stop caring so much. We have to stop sitting up here trying to rationalize, why are these black women doing this? Why are these black women doing that? Let's use this ammunition to say, oh no, sister, I don't hate black females. I don't call females monkeys and apes. I don't even feel females should negotiate with us black men, because I see most black women want other nationalities. So I accept that and I move on. Because obviously, majority of y'all don't need a dude like me who has to open up his store at 6 a.m. Majority of y'all don't need a dude like me who's a manager, who's a supervisor at his auto plant. So therefore, sister, no, I'm not mad at y'all. I just have moved on. Well, why you got to be with a white woman? Because the white woman treated me delicate, feminine, and everything I wanted a black woman to do, but the white woman just got to it first. Well, I just don't understand why you brothers, well, you don't understand, sister. All you got to do is look at the black women who are with white men. That's what they want. So, see, we got to use it. We got to use what they do as ammunition for an intellectual argument, not an I am hurt pity party argument, not these black women won't change. I could care less. I want you brothers to win. But the only way you can win, you have to accept what they are doing. You have to accept it as a normal thing. A female wants a penis she can control. Say it with me. A female wants a penis she can control. And if you not sitting and if you sitting up here handling your business, buying property, making sure your mama and daddy is okay with the legacy you're gonna, she don't want to deal with you. She needs somebody she can help. She need a broke black man with a wife beater on that she can teach what a resume is. That's what she's looking for. Matter of fact, let me dig deeper because you might not come back come back to me for a minute. You look at Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole could have got with any upstanding doctor, lawyer. Man, let me kick this game to you because this shit is deep. This she could have got with any engineer, any Tesla black man employee, but what did she go get? A young penis that can barely take care of itself. Let's dig a little deeper. You look at Black China, she went through all this stuff. She got a broken down Kardashian, a Kardashian that didn't have nothing. Got super chubby because of his depression. She was looking for a penis she could control. When that Kardashian said, man, check this out here. I'm a Kardashian and I got bread, bitch. You better get up on game. Oh, I can't control your dick. Let me go to a high schooler, somebody straight out of high school. And no, you guys got to understand as you continue this conversation, stop trying to rationalize what these chicks do and just recognize game. All females go left, but let me not leave the white chicks off the hook. There are white chicks who do the same thing, brothers. I'm about to wrap up. There are white chicks who do the same thing. There are Latin chicks who do the same thing. They seek out weak penises. They seek out penises that ain't about shit, ain't gonna do shit, and they sit up here and capitalize off them motherfuckers. You sit up here and got a lot of bread. That don't mean nothing. You could be an NFL star. You a weak-minded dude, and she knows she can get up there, have your baby, and control the rest of your life. But Q, Mr. Research, hey, sweetheart, you do look beautiful, but you got to follow my rules coming into this. Rules? What you talking about, sweetheart? I don't do arguments. If you don't want to roll, you don't want this prenup. You don't want the shit that I'm talking to you about. Then you know what? I respect you, sweetheart. You need to go find what you're looking for. Right. I have walked away from doctors. I have walked away from lawyers. Any chick that don't respect what my bubble is, I'm not mad at you. I've kicked white chicks to the curb, Asian chicks to the curb, Pakistani chicks to the curb. You must follow my rules. If not, I respect you, sweetheart. Go find that weak penis that you're looking for, dominate and screw up his life. That's what's up. And we just got to stop being mad in the BMC. I mean, Jesus, that's all I can say. Stop being mad at what these chicks do and get more power, more game, so where these chicks have to beg to follow your rules.
Okay.
Yep. Q, why you kicking so much town game right now? I'm like, bruh, you just shut the show down.
Somebody said I'm getting a praise break in the chat. Now you niggas gotta be shouting. Let me do this real quick, man. I appreciate all you brothers, man, that's in here. Y'all getting this exclusive game right now. You ain't gonna get it nowhere else. Not on this kind of panel, but only on this side of, individually, you get it on individual channels because I love to give it to you niggas raw. And Mr. Research too, because I've been dealing with you Negroes this last 2 weeks. Boy, I just can't wait to drop a video on you niggas because I've been really dealing with y'all. I've been dealing with y'all, trying to help you niggas get it together. But I love y'all just the same. So let me do this. Let me shout out some of the brothers on Super Chat. My man, D Decent, as Malcolm X said, the house Negro loves the slave master more than the slave himself. My man, Rusty Balls again. Rusty, if you want to come on, man, you're more than welcome. Andre Cooltig, well, how come you no longer have Steve the Dean on? Wow.
No, I got you. I'll answer that for you.
You did pay for the answer, man. You have to ask him that, man.
No. I'm gonna do it for you. Do it for you. Go watch the Marcus Brown video.
Go ahead.
Go watch the Marcus Brown video. That's all you got to do. At the end of the day, O'Shea is trying to build. He ain't got time for nobody sitting up here set tripping. That's it. That's all you need to know.
All I'm gonna say is Hotep, brother. And shout out to Mr. Research. Caleb, don't get mad, get money. DGMGM. all right, you know what I'm saying? Ted right off true, but I have siblings that grew up with hella white cities. Like I spent 4 hours in the mall today. I only saw 7 other blacks. Are they wrong too? Shut up. Where you? I know you in Canada. Where you heading, Ted? In Canada. Let's go to brother Amanda tomorrow, man. We got Edward coming on here. So we got long-winded Edward, y'all. So y'all hotel. God bless America. Man, tomorrow, what is it that you wanted to weigh in on, man, off the commentary that these brothers was talking about, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be one of these dudes who complained about all this stuff until I decided to inverse the serenity prayer. I decided to change the things I cannot accept and focus on my goddamn self. Once I got that in order, I didn't have to worry, dude. I could really worry less about people who don't want to follow. It's very easy. Right now. It's very easy. And women know. Men, as soon as they meet you in 5 seconds, they already know how much they're gonna get out of you and everything else. They already know that. So there is nothing wrong with changing the game up. There's nothing wrong with realizing that you're wrong. Because all you have to do is take responsibility for it once and make the change and never go back to the way you used to think. That's when it changes, man.
Say that again. Say that again for them. They missed that game right there, though, player.
Yeah. You have to learn from your mistakes and make the change once and never do it again. Because, yeah, man, there's going to be all kinds of new stuff that you're going to run into. But if you don't have sense enough to admit the mistake, be honest about what happened, yeah, you just got played, son. Happens. There's always new games that go on, man. But if you are unwilling to make that change, you're going to keep self-sabotaging yourself for the rest of your life until you are forced to look at it. And sometimes people still don't want to look at it at that point. But I'm just telling you, man, they don't have value until you give it to them. They don't initially have value on their own. Parasites don't have value on their own. Parasites wait for a host in order to give them value. You have to look at it like that.
Damn.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. He said, "Damn." Oh man, let me do this real quick. Shout out to my brother JB came through here with the $20 super chat, man. Shout out to JB, brother Xavier Math. That explains a lot. Mr. Richard on these teachers getting arrested with these those young boys. Built Model Car Game Magazine. Game has been kicked charged. My boy AM1 Steph Curry filed on this major game clinic. Devin Haley, I'm watching you all and looking at the big three. Who's the big three, baby? O'Shea, Duke, Jackson. I'm just saying.
Big three by himself.
That's pretty good looking niggas right there. You know what I mean? At one time, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. All right, let me do this real quick. Hey, let me just take a little small little chronic break. I mean, I don't smoke the weed, though, because I love Jesus. Get the likes up, brothers. You know what I'm saying? We got a great panel. I want to go just real quick to my brother AM1. And I want to talk about more or less, not necessarily these chicks, you know what I'm saying? But, okay. Is it a correct criticism? Because research, I got to go back to this point. Are we not doing enough as black men to assert ourselves, to actually earn respect? Because, I mean, really, the black man's image is even bad. I mean, even in Africa, right? Like, okay, just because you're an American, I noticed there's a difference between being an American and being a black American and a white American. There's two different things. You know what I'm saying? Because even then, what I've noticed is that those chicks, no matter what you got, they in the back of your mind, you still a nigga. And they're gonna try to, for the most part, treat you as such. So, what are black men not doing to build their own selves up so that when women can say, he ain't serious? Like I saw some videos of like a lot of African women talking about they want to date with white men because black men are not serious. They don't want long-term relationships. All of these things. What's your response to that, brother?
Man, I take that on a few different levels, all circling back to things like the idea that we are set back in this race for decades and centuries. So the fact is, we don't have the wealth resources that they have. That's just keeping it real. And then beyond that, we don't control our own image and our own narrative because we don't control the mainstream media that gets to tell everybody directly and subconsciously what success is. So I would say it's a resounding yes that Black men are not doing enough to garner and command respect. And it's really understanding this. Black men collectively and individually have to make extreme sacrifices to be able to catch up. It's real simple. Just to use the analogy of a race. If you start off a race where everybody's a few laps ahead of you, you're going to have to bust your ass and do a whole lot of things to catch up. You're going to have to sacrifice looking fresh, looking fly, flossing. You're going to have to sacrifice chasing pussy. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things to catch up if you care about catching up. Now, a lot of dudes are jumping through hoops, doing a lot of things out here to fake pseudo floss and seem like they've caught up, but they have not caught up because they're not making those sacrifices. Has there been hit campaigns against us for 5,000 years? Absolutely. Is it currently in play right now where they want to make every young little dude seem like he's on some like Young Thug, Chief Keef type fuckery with the face tats and the locks and the weird looks and clothes and all that? They're doing all of these things. It is incumbent upon us to do everything we can to counter that and be serious, not about trying to couple up with women, but chase the success in all of the things that have been held and kept away from us. We need to be getting after that shit like there's no tomorrow, because basically, as far as Black American men, there ain't no tomorrow. We about to be ran up out of here, genocided up out of here in the next 50 to 100 years. It's time to stop playing. We got to get in the mix heavy on that so we can control our narrative. Now, if we doing that right and really gaming up on our money, our business, our networking, like these builds are so important and so dope to me. That's why I love tapping in with the brothers, because it's just pure intelligence across the board. Even if everybody doesn't see eye to eye, everybody's just coming respectfully.
Question.
Dope. I mean, go ahead. Go ahead, Q.
I just want to ask AM a question. I have said this for years, AM. You tell me what you think. In conjunction with what you just said, I'm always hearing Black males say they don't want to be supervising, they don't want to be managing. Isn't that the key to pulling other Black men up?
Absolutely. And I've heard you say that before on your channel, so I've definitely been sub to you for a minute. No, it's like this. I hear a lot of dudes say what they don't want to be as far as working for different people. I've extended an olive branch to a lot of brothers as far as the different business things I do. Say, hey, let me, like my clothing line shit, I put it in the shops, 70-30 split. They keep 30% for just storing it. They don't have to lift a finger. I've offered that to homies of mine who know what I'm doing and see me grind out, and they say, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to work for you. I'm like, so this white dude over here can take my 30% and he happy. You ain't want to do that? If you ain't trying to run your own show, you know what I mean? You better get in line with somebody else's. So even if it's a white man's corporation, you better get in there, work that out so you can bring in more of our people so we can more or less infiltrate that. If you ain't trying to go that route, if you ain't trying to really gut it out and build your own shit, you better be trying to infiltrate some other shit and really be able to build up the next man. I absolutely agree with that. A lot of the brothers are making excuses like that. I mean, that's such a great point in his light years ahead, because I'm hearing dudes say shit like, man, I ain't trying to work for no white man because they won't hire me because of my hairstyle. And I ain't cutting my hair for nothing. I'm like, but you broke and you got 3 kids and you're struggling, but you don't even you more concerned about your looks and your hair style than getting a job, bruh.
AM1, I hate to cut you off. Who does that sound? Who does that sound like? What you just said in the last 10 seconds. What does that sound like? That sounds like a female.
Bruh. Absolutely. I'm like, what is going on out here? And these be some of the dudes that tell you they're the most hardest type of dude on the block. And I'm like, wait a minute, you more interested in your looks and your appearance, not your actual money game, not your actual wealth game. That sounds like such a weak little cop out to me. Yeah, that's feminism or what? That's really not coming from a masculine place of energy. Like, hey, I better fucking survive and sustain myself. But now my hair got to look cute. I got to make sure my locks look nice. But they don't want to hire me because I got locks. I'm like, well, what is the cultural significance of it anyway? And even if it is culturally significant, is it more important than you being a dusty ass dude struggling? I mean, so what Q brought up is an excellent point, but I'm like, Q knows. I'm right here in the town. I'm in downtown Oakland. I'm literally out here on the block. Q knows what time it is. His brother's out here on some raggedy shit and will try to make every excuse as to why that is okay and why you shouldn't say nothing about it. Another reason why coming to these discussions is low key like therapy to me, because I'm like, holy shit, I'm talking to a panel of and a chat full of black folks that's fucking getting it in on some intelligent shit when I'm literally out here on the block doing the kind of work I do out here and get pushback from cats like, man, you on some old shit, you on some respectability politics. I'm like, bruh, I ain't trying to be like them. I'm trying to be on that true black excellence shit and execute on a level that's potentially superior to them, because we got the skill, we got the talent, we dripping all the vibes, we got the athleticism, we got the charisma. Why are we not owning, controlling, and commoditizing that? Like, come on. This should be annoying me. I'm like, I'm getting my EA on right now, but this should be on my nerves, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we in group right now. I mean, don't get me started, because somebody tell me some stupid shit like that, I'm gonna tell. I've told dudes. I have gotten a fight with dudes. I said, you know what? Your mom need to go jump off a cliff for the dad she chose, for you having that mentality. I've told people that. I've almost gotten fired from my job because when I hear black men say that, I have such a zero tolerance level for that dumb shit now. I've always had a zero tolerance level, but I'm really not in their face like wanting to fight, but I'll tell them, I'm like, dude, have you ever listened to yourself and actually played it back like maybe 2 weeks later and realized how much of a bitch you sound like? Like, I've told people that, because some of the stuff that dudes say, like for instance, let's go to the lock thing. Okay, I'm not going to be on you about wanting dreadlocks, but don't you understand that if you can work for another black man, they're most likely to let that go, because they're not going to have the cultural thing about if you not even work hard, but if you are dependable, let's say that. So you show up and do what is expected, they not going to come at you about dreads, because it's not that cultural BS that white people have with it. But see, brothers don't think that way. See, I'm all about saying, look, you can do what you want to do, but there's a smarter way to do it. Y'all want to do what y'all want to do on some stupid shit, and women can get away with that because women have a sexual value and they're women, so they're always going to they're not a threat, so they always kind of get let go. But as a black man, everything you're being done is being watched. So if you want to do what you want to do, then you need to make sure you're with other brothers that put you in a situation where you can have that liberty. But brothers don't want to do that. Brothers want to live like women. And don't even get me started on that shit, man.
Bruh, it's a crazy game. I feel you on everything you just said is real interesting with these kind of discussions for dudes that's even getting into the topics of women. And I mean, I in my understanding, most men don't care about, most black men I know don't care about if they see a black woman fucking off with some white dude. I know I don't care, period. Because I'm like, I mean, I didn't had enough pussy for a few lifetimes, so whatever. And I'm just 40. I'm like, bro, whatever to that. I'm trying to get my money game up, world travel game up, a la O'Shea. Mr.
We broke player. Don't want me broke. Okay, hold on a second, y'all. Y'all know we got other people. Y'all wrap it up. We got more people on the panel.
Oh now. No, go ahead. Anybody can come in. I'm good.
I didn't get my official turn yet, so
but go ahead, y'all finish what I got to say. Okay, and then we're gonna play nice now. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Finish last statement.
No, we're done. So I'm waiting for my official turn. So.
Okay, yeah, because y'all, I'm gonna have to, y'all are Negroes. Okay, so y'all Negroes, we got a lot of people on the panel. So let me do this real quick. Let me shout out to people that's in the super chat. And again, we're gonna go to LAR real quick. Eric P. Oh shit! Hold on a second. Oh shit! That Pookie ain't gonna make it syndrome video was a classic. I just had to trick again for that midget strippers. Then we had some appearances on. We had Dr. Deacon Eric P appeared in that video. I'm gonna start doing that more often. I'm gonna start bringing the subscribers into my video in my video stories. So Freelance Rona made an appearance in JJ Rearwood. So shout out to them, man. Y'all crazy. Decent D. That's that Willie Lynch mentality. Just from our white men are the new welfare benefit. Black men are once again not the best option over this welfare benny. That's a good point. The new welfare benefit. Ron Brown, have a great weekend, fellas. Always support Nicky Murray, brother. Around Brian's One Titans. Black men stopped it because of black women talk. Andre Cool Tig Wolf, yeah, but what really happened between you two? Y'all are really tight. I seen the Marcus Brown video, but I want to know if I should unfollow this. I mean, you ain't got to unfollow him, but if you want to know, man, just email me. I'll let you know. Full circle, my brother, man. Follow our super chat. Okay, let me go to LAR. Let LAR movement weigh in on something because he's going to give me an idea. Mr. Research left, so let me, maybe he got cut off, but go ahead, LAR. And I got room for somebody else, so go ahead, LAR.
Here's one thing, and it's slowly changing, okay. But we're viewed, we are strong individuals, but a weak collective. We spoke about this before. But for the brothers who don't want to work with and for other brothers, here's the problem, especially the ones who claim conscience. Y'all need to shut up about Black Wall Street, because those are brothers working for and with other brothers who understood that everybody can't be the man, but everybody won at the end of the day for that period when it came to business. Stop speaking about the Harlem Renaissance because that was people working together. Stop speaking about all these other communities, Rosewoods, the ones in Chicago, the ones in Philly, the ones in New York, all that. Stop it, because until you want to actually work with or for another brother, then, you know, let's be honest, all you want to do is be pretty. And this is what's going on in our community right now. It's a split of guys who want to be pretty versus guys who want to get stuff done. We got workhorses and we got show horses. And
say it again.
We got workhorses and we got show horses.
What's the show? What's the show horse? You
know, I got my hair did. I'm taking off my shirt on the internet and let people know how good I look. I got 17 tattoos. I lick my lips like LL Cool J all day long, but I don't really do nothing. I don't have a skill. You know, that's a problem. You know, that is a major problem that we have. A lot of guys don't want to admit. You can't call yourself a man when you act like the man your mama raised you to be. And this is what's going on. And to a degree, you know, this is the flip side of this conversation. This is why white guys are viewed as weak individuals, but strong as a collective. And the women look at them as a collective. Most women in most communities look at a community as a collective. When we talk about communities, that what's going on in your community, what's going on in your, they don't ask you what's going on with your individuals until it's somebody from a different community who's trying to mind fuck you and say, but you got Obama, but you got Oprah, but you got Michael Jordan. That's the only time they're gonna pop out an individual. And we gotta, you know, as men, you know, be honest with ourselves and say, you know what? Let the show horses go along and prance somewhere and let the motherfuckers hit a brick wall. Let the workhorses get together and get it done. You know, and you can't have people coming back and forth with that either. So I'm done, bro.
No, you always give me something to go off of, and man, I'm getting old. Here's the thing, though, right? It's also like this. I want to put this out on the table. We're gonna go on that colorism piece too. In fact, we're gonna switch gears. I want to just make this statement. You know, all of those women who are kind of on the hype of you know, black men, you know, ain't shit. And then, you know, let's say black men start trying to get it together. Then those same women will be trying to get back in good. Like, this is what I'm thinking that's probably gonna happen, right? You know, black men can't do anything. You know, black men are just, you know, go to the white man. And again, a lot of these women are going to find themselves dealing with white men that don't have that network. Like, I think that the white men that a lot of black women are dealing with are white men that are not connected, right? These are white men at lower strategies, right? Lower levels. And then when black men start to create networks and create opportunities, because the biggest opportunities for wealth and satisfaction is in two places. It's in Black America and in Africa. That's just it. I mean, if you look at the new wealth, that's why like all the Chinese and all the Asians and all the people, where's everybody going to right now? Everybody's going where? Somebody want to tell me?
Africa.
Everybody's going to Africa, right? So the new millionaires and the new people who are going to be making money are going to be most likely, you know, Africans. Black America is a great hub for money, right? And so the new wealth creation is in Black America, and as Black America goes in Africa. A lot of these new millionaires or new wealth generations are most likely going to be black men. A good percentage of them. And then these black women who are going to these white guys who are not necessarily connected like that. These white guys are like not creating. These guys are not really the new wealth creators. They're not going to be on that train. So when it happens that, you know, black men start to, you know, do a little bit better, here come them women coming back. You know, so brothers, keep in mind, you know, as you're doing things, be mindful of the women that wasn't trying to fuck with you. Just always remember that. Stay true to the ones who was fucking with you, and stay, and you know, those people who not. But let me go to Man of Tomorrow and let Man of Tomorrow weigh in on something, and I'm gonna get to the super chats in a minute. Go ahead, MOT. What did you want to weigh in on? And we're gonna go to this whole colorism piece. But go ahead, MOT.
All right. For the people who talk about Black Wall Street and all that shit, who call themselves kings and queens and all that shit, I've never met a doctor who called himself kings and queens. I never met a doctor who talked about Black Wall Street. Never met an attorney, black attorney, who talked about Black Wall Street. And let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
These people are merely cake batter who want to hide amongst the completed product of cakes and pies. So they don't want to do the hard work, but they want their mediocrity and they're pining for things that are great to be their actual contribution to the goddamn process.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually working. They want the finished product. I mean, they're nothing but hoes. I mean, pining for things like they'll never work for, but they will take part of it once it's great. You ask them, okay, young lady or guy, all right, all that stuff sounds good, but what have you done today, tomorrow? What's your 5-year plan on how to get that? Oh, no, that ain't for me. I'm just here to eat. Like, these are the people who bring spoons and forks and expect to eat filet mignon at the damn barbecue. They don't give a damn about what they bring. They give a damn about what they're going to take.
Mm-hmm.
And they also complain that we're not doing it fast enough. Because, see, they can't be great unless we get out there and build first for them. Because there's a lot of people who's sitting back, standing by, waiting on things could be great. Because they could just say, yep, I knew that guy, I knew that girl, I knew you was going to be great, now pay me. But that's not how that works. And we got to be able to have that long memory and be like, look, hey, you know, I built all this stuff. Yeah, I knew you back in the day, but I also knew how you treated me back in the day too. And, you know, they're going to come with their shaming language and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, I can't hear you over these decimal points on this fucking money. I can't hear you over that shit. That bullshit that you try to use, like the little shaming language, like, oh, I knew you when you wasn't shit. Like, yeah, that was one point in time. That was a long-ass time that happened between then and now. But those people, they're already are completed products of ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
They've already stopped evolving. So now it's up to us to carry their weight. Like, nah, man. Don't do that for these people, man. You build for yourself, and once you get there, be happy and proud of what you've built. And also, you got to protect yourself from your family members. Everybody else who's going to come, who's going to come for you. Because they're going to be the first people who come for you. Those going to be the first people telling their homeboys to break inside your house.
Mm-hmm.
Those going to be the first people setting you up for all kinds of things. So I'm just telling you, once you do make it, remember that path. Remember how cold and how lonely it was to get there. And you don't owe anybody anything. despite how they try to shame you into it. Because nobody tried to shame you into a good deal. That's all I got, man.
No, that's true. Let me do this real quick. Man, MOT dropped some firebombs on y'all. Let me go ahead and shout out some of the super chats that have come through. Andre, Tig Wolf. I just hit you up on email. Let's go to brother Edward Anderson, man, real quick, and then we'll go back to Edward. Go ahead, Edward. What you want to weigh in on, brother?
I'll weigh in on the question you asked AM1 about the infrastructure building. Here's the truth to that. There's really two parts to that. And both of them, black women are full of shit when they say that. What black women want from black men when they say black men want to build, and Chrissy said this one time, and she admitted, they want black men to build infrastructure, but they run it. That's what they really want to be. They kind of want black men to be a weak chairman that has no real power. So, but they the CEO and they running stuff. But we still, at the end of the day, are financially invested in everything. That's what they want. And there are very few companies that are successful that run like that. In fact, you can't point to any other group that runs like that. And that's the biggest cultural reason why you don't see black women really hop or get long-term relationships like that, because their matriarchal mindset is not compatible with the other patriarchies, because these either they change or they don't do it. And that's why most of them don't do it. I do agree that black men need to assert themselves. I completely agree with that. And I do completely agree that black men have to own that at the end of the day. In generations that we have deferred. We have created this culture of deferring to our women way too much because of, like, when you really ask old school dudes why they do that, or why as a group they do that, because as individuals, a lot of these guys might not do it, but as a group they do. And I love the fact that was said, because that really defines a lot of issues with the black male community. We got a lot of dudes that say individually they know how to run their chicks, but as a group, a lot of these, even dudes that run their chicks, when it comes to other dudes, they expect other dudes to yield where they don't yield. And you see it on other dudes that's been on this panel when they start talking. So my point is this: black men, in order to, charity starts with home, but also discipline starts with home. And black men are going to have to get black men under control first. And once we get a critical mass of black men under control, or the black men that's going to make it, because I think 60% of black men ain't going to make it. 60% of black people ain't going to make it. So understand, when I say that critical mass, I'm talking about 25% as a 100% as I view it, not the whole black community. What's going to happen is the very thing that black women fear. We need to start being just like how Alice Walker did on The Color Fucking Purple. We need to start exerting force onto these women. And when I say that, I don't mean physical. I do not mean physical. I mean, we need to remove every dollar that we give that we don't get a return on investment from our women. Our women want to be strong and independent. They need to be made to be strong and independent. And that also means politically, and I say this as a Democrat, politically, I'm for Donald Trump overturning Roe v. Wade. I'm for Donald Trump reactivating the Defense of Marriage Act. I'm for Donald Trump starting to reorganize these laws as far as, not even child support, but alimony and marriage. I'm for them snatching everything that was given to women, even if it's at the price of some civil rights for black people, because black men have not benefited from that. We're in a perfect position, and I'm gonna end it with this: is we have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And the shaming tactics are coming because black women know that, and they want us to feel like we owe them something. You may owe your mom something, but other than your mom, you don't owe no black female a goddamn thing. And black men need to stop looking at other black women through the eyes of their mama. That's a big problem. Anyway, I'll leave it with that.
No, that's some great points. Y'all get the likes up, man. I got 389 people up in here. Get the likes up, brothers. And for those people, so many people supporting the show. But if you haven't supported the show before, because some brothers actually ask, like, how do you donate? How do you do that? There is a super chat button below. You can write something there on the thing. If you have a question, you can support that way. If you're new or you want to support, I like to see new people. I like to see the same people. Like, I always see my boys, like my moderators, AM1, Casper, they always supporting the show. A lot of y'all always supporting the show. So like the Eric P's and the Ron Browns, Mark, I always see that. I want to see you new Negroes get up in here, okay, and put $1 or something up in the thing, because it's good to support black business and black male media. So you know what I mean. If you're a newer person, paydays until money, it's all good. Listen, give me a like, nigga, or share. You ain't gotta have no money, but get involved or something. Get in the chat, cuss somebody out, call somebody something, do something, nigga. Just do something. Just don't just sit there. Do something. Hit the like on the video, hit the share button, do something, nigga. Okay, let me go ahead on and get to I want to start back to AM1. Okay, let's kind of bring this back to the black community. We talked about white men. Okay, let's bring it back into our group, because a lot of black people date each other. Let's talk about light skin versus dark skin. This is mulatto versus black. Okay, let's deal with this for the remainder of the show and see if there's some advantages between the two. Let's start off with you, AM1, because you had some things that you want to talk about. Let's let you spin the show into a whole different direction, and I'll just kind of feed off of what you're talking about.
All right, so no, I'll just was sort of coming at that aspect from the idea of black women and their perceived or truthful heightened respect for white men. And I say through the lens of me, myself. Now, it's an interesting dynamic because I'm here in the Bay Area. I've lived all over the East Bay, and it's very diverse here. But there's definitely something to the idea that since the 80s into the 90s into now, you know, sometimes black dudes, sometimes light-skinned dudes are in style and sometimes not. Then the dark-skinned brothers are in style, you know, that whole joke, that ongoing thing. But for the most part, in this region, in a lot of these arguments and discussions that are had in black YouTube or just in general, people generalize these things in a broad sort of way and don't think about the regional element of it or how diverse a certain region is. And I think that's very foolish. Like the idea of Cynthia G being so mad about dudes swirling. I'm like, well, I think you live in Seattle or some shit. How many black folks are there? So, I mean, that's just stupid. So, I mean, that's just an ignorant, you know, approach. But of course, she's making money saying black male swirler, beta male swirler. So that we see her motivations are a little bit different. So I'm coming from it from the standpoint of this. I'm all about for my people. Both of my parents are darker than me. I'm not mixed. I'm just a regular ass black dude who just happens to be light. I mean, up in the, you know, generationally, yeah, there's mixes in there. I got some Latino on my dad's side. Okay. And I never even met my dad. So I'm just saying it from the standpoint of I'm just a regular ass black dude, just like anybody else. I just happen to be lighter. I'm for my people first and foremost, black first, on some Jason Black type shit, Professor Black Truth. But no, I say all that to say I'm so hardcore about my people, but my people have even kind of fronted on me saying, "Oh, you ain't no real nigga. You too light, the way you speak." But there are certainly some advantages in dealing with what you could consider a white supremacy system where they own and control and dominate businesses. By way of the way I look and the way I speak, have been able to be accepted into jobs in a certain way. And this even adds to the idea of how I've interacted with different women, having access or easier access, so to speak, to other racial groups because it is diverse. Like I've lived in, obviously, Oakland, Union City, Fairfield, different areas that are more mixed. But it's real interesting, though, because a lot of black women themselves have fronted on me because I'm not black enough. I'm not a nigga enough. I'm not, you know, the standard idea. It's a really interesting thing because other races of women will gravitate typically to lighter skinned black men. But then there's a bulk or grouping of black women who will gravitate towards light skinned men too. And I think a lot of that has to do with social conditioning, like when the darker or the lighter dude is in style, so to speak, which is all bullshit. But it's just interesting to see that dynamic myself growing up with that. To me, all of it is like whatever, because I'm like, I don't chase women. Like I stopped that a long time ago. I don't chase. If anything, they got to come get at me. And they got to get with my program, like what Q was saying earlier. If you're not following my rules, it's peace out. But I was just alluding to that whole idea because I realized I was one of the lightest dudes on the panel at that point, and I didn't hear anybody bring that up. There's definitely an element to ease of moving through life and doing certain things because you're lighter, because for better or for worse, I do look more like a white man. And it's like the idea of white privilege or light skin privilege within the whole colorism element. I've got a lot of shit from my own people, but I will never stop going hard for my people just across the board. And dealing with black women and their different hangups, I will never stop going hard for trying to big up intelligent black men, because I am one, and that's a reflection when I see other black men. I'm like, I'm trying to big up and empower all of us. It's just a real interesting dynamic. So I mean, that's kind of just where I was going with that. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what the other brothers think about that, because even with amongst black men, there is a colorism sort of element to a certain degree. I've heard black men say, "Oh, you ain't no real nigga, you too light, whatever, whatever," which I think is some corny ass shit to say. And it's self-defeating, especially since it's feminine. Like EA said earlier, that what does that sound like? That sounds like females. When I hear black dudes talking, saying shit, acting funny with me because I'm light, I'm like, bruh, you want to fuck me? What the fuck? Why you care about my skin color? Get the fuck out of here. Or you think I'm competition for you? Is that what it is? Because if that's the case, step your game up. Like, I didn't choose my skin color. What the fuck? If anything, I wish I was darker. If I got some kind of complex about that, I'm like, hey, bruh, summertime. Can I get a fucking tan out this bitch? Like, what the fuck? I'll leave it at that, though.
Let's talk about that real quick, man, because if you think about it, right? Like, okay, this is what I want to know. And I'm going to shout out Super Chat in a moment. So the brothers who are like mixed or mulatto, they are more closer to white. I'm going to go to Brother Tony right now on this. And shout out to Big JXXX. Big J, if you want. Oh, brother, I just saw these Super Chats coming in. Y'all must got paid. Big J, if you want to get on, man, you're more than welcome. So shout out to you. Shout out to a real engineer. Shout out to Jonathan Morgan. We need to think of ourselves as a new men on the planet. We don't have women. We just need to build for ourselves and develop a code, have specific jobs for women that you add to the structure, elevate only those women. Jonathan Morgan, let me read that again. The brother just dropped some game. We need to think of ourselves as the new men on the planet. We don't have women. We just need to build for ourselves and develop a code, have specific jobs for women that add to the structure, elevate only those women. Okay, my brother Eclectic Tyrone, have you ever reached out to Sergeant Wooly Pete to do a stream? No, I haven't, but I would definitely love to have him on here, man. He's definitely a good YouTuber. Big J, if you want to get on, man, just shout out to you, brother, for the support. I'll bring you on. Just email me at planetoshay@gmail.com. But this is what I want to talk about before we go to Tony. If you look at a brother like AM1, he's light skinned, but still too black to be a white man, right? So I because if he's white, then he can speak properly and all of that. All that's fine, right? That's good. If you're a white dude, you talk proper, you do all those things. That's cool. But if you not white, you still have to be a nigga. You can't be out. I'm echoing somewhere. Who the fuck am I echoing off of? Jose. Okay. Shut up about that, brother. So that's an interesting concept. He's light skinned, closer to white, but if he has those white qualities, he ain't black enough. Now, a lot of light skinned dudes that I know suffer, like Xanatos Clutch. He has the same kind of issue. Light skinned guy, but doesn't. So that's always been fascinating to me, that you would figure that the closer he is to white physically, it would be better, but his attitude has to be farther away from that phenotype. So we'll talk about that. But let me get Tony Maceo in the building real quick. And Tony, let's go ahead and weigh on whatever you want to weigh in on, player, and then we'll kind of get back to this colorism. Tony. It never rains in Southern California. That's what they tell me. Tony, where have you not talked? Get yourself out of mute, nigga. Please do that before I pass your shit to LAR, nigga. Come on, Tony. Oh, research came back, man. What's going on, man? You did. Oh shit, he went to the club real quick, for like 45 minutes. Got a number, came back. Come on, Tony, man. What's going on, man? I'm ready to drop this game, man. Come on, player. Come on, man. Dang. Tony, get it together. Oh, tap, man. The white man got his foot on his neck, man. I understand. Let me do this real quick. We go to LAR real quick, and then we come back to Tony. and then we'll go to LAR MLT research. Go ahead, LAR. Let's talk about this colorism, more lighter situation. Is that situation going on?
What I'm about to say about this might be offensive to some people.
Okay.
I always thought that when guys start talking about colorism, and I'm not talking about AM1, so just hear me out what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear black men getting mad because somebody lighter or darker, I be like, you got that much bitch in you? Like, stop acting like you wasn't an Allen Iverson fan. Oh, I don't like that motherfucker because he light. Oh, that motherfucker too dark. Really, dog? Like, you sound just like these chicks now. Man, you know what I'm saying? He got waves. He should have had dreadlocks. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at some point, you're going to be a man or what?
Mm-hmm. Like,
most men can say, look, man, that's a grown man. That's not a grown man. There's all that shit about, he light, so I ain't going to respect him. Like, what? Like, you respected Bruce Lee when you was a kid. You can respect Macho Man Randy Savage, But now all of a sudden, because you grown, you've been listening to women too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I never really, that is one thing that always irked me about that, because it's like, he black, right? Yeah. So you mad at him because he lighter than you, or you mad at him because he darker than you? Because the TV said, wait a minute, when was the last time men have been controlled by television? You sound like a chick right now. I saw it on Love and Hip Hop that she like a light-skinned dude more than me. What? Like, you remember New Jack City? And, like, he didn't like Christopher Williams because he was light. But guess what? Alan Payne was light, too. Like, what are y'all, like, some of these guys just looking for an excuse to say they prettier than another guy. That's really what it is. I need to be seen as prettier than this other guy so I can impress this chick, because I'm acting like a chick. Because last time I checked, it's about what men do, not how men look. So, man, I'm done with that, man.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Yo,
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
My bad.
This damn computer went to sleep on me, so I got knocked off. But the brother over there that said that they said that he looked like a white man, I would suggest he get them niggas some glasses, because you can clearly see that he's black. But the shit is confusing to me, and I think he was right when he talked about that it was social conditioning. That's what it is, because a lot of it's on us. But it seems to be, from my perspective, to me, the light-skinned black men, or the light-skinned black people, seem to be the most progressive and the most forward-thinking people that we have in the community. That's just an observation. They seem to be more progressive. Let's say if you compare someone like Adam Clayton Powell Jr. to Clarence Thomas, most of your reactionary Negroes tend to be darker skinned, tend to be people that I guess have some type of problem. And it is problematic, the culture of swag that we have in the black community that ends up being some style over substance shit. But for the most part, the light-skinned dudes tend to be more progressive. If you go back and look at all the leaders we've had, most of them will pass the brown paper bag test, and one of them flunked the brown paper bag test, and that was Marcus Garvey. So we tend to be, and that goes to our own hypocrisy, we tend to be more inclined to listen to somebody if they're light-skinned. Why we do that? Social conditioning, low racial self-esteem, racial confusion, all of that may play a part. But what I'm saying is that a light-skinned dude is the last person I would find suspect. Malcolm X was light-skinned. Huey Newton was light-skinned. Martin Luther King could pass the brown paper bag test. So does Louis Farrakhan. So does Adam Powell. So does W.E. Du Bois, of course, he was a mulatto. So was, I just did an article on him. I'm getting old. Charles Hamilton Houston, Thurgood Marshall. All these people passed the brown paper bag test. So their politics and their contributions tend to be more significant than the ones that are light skinned. So I don't see why anyone would attribute any ill will to a light skinned black person. I don't understand how that works. To me, in my observation, the darker skinned people were the ones that seemed to have more of a problem with being black. To me, the dark skinned people tend to be more reactionary, because I would take Man of Tomorrow over ABL any fucking day. But why it works that way, I don't know. But that's just how it is. Now you may have like O'Shea is the exception. O'Shea has created, or he has made dark-skinned niggas popular on YouTube. So, most of them tend to be very regressive. Most of them tend to be self-hating. Most of them tend to be very reactionary. Most of them tend to be, very, very, very pessimistic in their view of black people. Mm-hmm. So YouTube has leveled the playing field for the dark-skinned niggas, but I only see one dark-skinned nigga that is actually one dark-skinned nigga that's progressive. The ones that I see that are really progressive tend to be light-skinned. So why we would have an issue with light-skinned niggas is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wait, let me holler at that real quick.
Let me just let me read out the super chats real quick. That's why Tony gets paid the big bucks over here. He's the smartest person, man. I would have to say, really on this side of Negro tube, on the back end, y'all don't know he be building the calculus equations at nighttime. So let me just David Lindell. Hey y'all, the struggle is real for us yellow dudes. Hotep, yeah, nigga, you are yellow too, brother. You need to get you one of them koofies and the white man that's put on my You need to get one of them Hotep starter packs. The white man got his foot on my neck chain, and a ankh, okay, because you are light skinned, brother. I appreciate you though. Hey now, elevate the Nicole Michelle, not the CNG Creasy. A real engineer, $5. My boy Big J Triple X, do you think the shaming tactics from women like Cynthia G is working? We'll talk about that. But let's do this. Let's go to go ahead real quick. AM1, and then we'll go to Mr. Research real quick. Go ahead, AM1.
No, I was just blown away by what Power and Strategy was saying, because that's something I think about a lot myself, being a light-skinned dude, 40 years in the game. I'm almost 40, before at the end of this month. A little low-key milestone for your boy. But no.
Same here. I go 40 on the 23rd.
Hotep.
What? MOT? Wait. Did you make the Leo cutoff? MOT?
What's that?
Did you make the Leo cutoff, or are you still Cancer?
July no. First day, 23rd.
You hit Leo? Oh, you in the club,
First
bruh.
day.
Leo
First
club.
day.
Hey, no, but it's crazy though, right? Because I talk a lot about going hard for my people right here in Oakland. A lot of shit I do, I talk about that a lot. And some people actually come at me and be like, well, you a light-skinned dude. You don't even understand or feel the plight of black folks. And I'm like, whoa. That's the most ignorant shit, because you ain't lived my life. You don't know what the deal is.
Right.
But I'm like, if anything, if it's a light-skinned brother that's really trying to go in for his people, if anything, I'm in a better position to help our people out, potentially, because I can play the game and get into certain positions of influence that a lot of darker skinned black men might not be able to do. Mm-hmm. And if I got my eyes on a prize and I'm trying to really big up our people despite whatever color, I'm like, I'm the spook who sat by the door. I'm a fucking agent in our favor, right? Like, we need more brothers like me that's on the square level, that's, with the not so tough guy look, that's on some square shit, light skinned dudes who can kind of wiggle and get it in on this, WS system corporate type structure we got to deal with. I would think that that's way more beneficial. Power and Strategy, what you said is so dope and so deep, because I think about that a lot. And I've said it, I've spoken it out loud to very few people within the realms of that. I'm like, why would you come at me crazy when I'm still trying to go in for my people? But I'm dealing with other darker skinned black men who want to come at me funny because I guess they see me as competition over women. I'm like, bruh, there's so many women out here. Why are you tripping off me? That's never been an issue for me.
Because we are like children. Because niggas are like children. When you lead black people, you have to understand who you're dealing with. You're dealing with an abused child. The black community is an abused child. And so when your approach to them, it's almost like you have to take them by the hand and just go down the alphabet with them. A, B, C. That's just the way it works. And they'll talk about light skin, but again, most of the people that we call black leaders, they pass the damn brown paper bag test.
True.
You know,
True.
so it confuses me as to, you know, why. No, it doesn't. I take that back. It does not confuse me. I know why we do that, but it's some backward shit. But just understand that when you're dealing with us, it's like dealing with a ratchet female. You dealing with a ratchet female. You dealing with a female that you're dealing with a person that comes out of ratchet circumstances and they got that ratchet ass mentality. So you have to understand, if you're going to go hard for your people, just understand, my man, it's a possibility that you can become a casualty. Now they'll put your face on a t-shirt tomorrow and sell it, you know, and you'll become a part of dead nigga rituals and all of that. But you did.
Man, straight jam. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah, hold on. Is it what happened to Tony? Tony, you good, brother? Did the white man get you? Okay, the white man got Tony. Go ahead, research.
All right, this is gonna hurt. So I apologize in advance for putting this warrior talk to a lot of you guys, but this is the wolf way of thinking. I'm very serious about this. Everybody under the sound of my voice, look up Tingis Africa, Tingus. Tingis Africa was around long before Morocco came along. Morocco is only around because Arabs came over, chipped off all the noses of the black statues, the black pharaohs, the Sphinx, which is a black man, and they created Morocco. Why? Has the oldest statuette of any human being, which is the Venus of Tantan. 500,000 years old. Supersedes white people. White people only came to the planet 1100 BC. The reason I say all this, gentlemen, Tingis Africa is right next to Spain. It's only 2 hours away from Spain. When I do lectures and tell people that Hispanics are not white, they're actually Africans. Somebody raises the question, well, what about Iberians? Iberians came after Tingis. So you mean somebody over in Tingis looking at the Rock of Gibraltar ain't going to take a 2-hour boat?
What's going on here?
Hey, they cutting these fools off.
I mean, that's the white man, bro. He got his foot on people's necks today.
Either that or ABL.
Is ABL in the chat? It might be ABL doing that shit.
But
he working with ABL working with white supremacy in the chat, huh?
Control Alt Delete.
Well, let's see who we got. Let's go to Edward real quick. Edward, what you had to weigh in on, and we'll go to LAR because I ain't gonna stay up too long, man. It's already 4 something in the morning, so
it's been a minute. What's the question again?
Just whatever you want to weigh in on, man. Just whatever you want to say something.
As far as the colorism stuff goes, I mean, I concur with what AM1 said. As far as what what Tony said, look, I agree, but at the same time, I mean, you got brothers like Jason Black. There are a lot of. I mean, that's not to say. Here's the thing. I tend to not get into the debate of having to prove the historical contributions of what lighter skinned African Americans have done, because a lot of the people that are bringing that up is up on some fucking emotional stunted high school bullshit. So and I'm gonna say this, and I'll let Mr. Research jump back in. you got to understand that black people are dominated by I like what AM1 said when I first heard him, private parts talk. Women are dominated by womb talk, and a lot of these dudes are dominated by penis talk. And what happens, you got a lot of dudes, because it is feminine. LAR is correct, because when you really look at what men are competing for, the problem with black men is we find ways to try to cannibalize each other. Other men, even though they compete with each other, still know how to group up. Black men don't want to do that. And what it is, and I'll give you a perfect example. If you put 5 people in a room, one white guy is a staunch atheist. Not only does he not believe in God, he actually hates the idea of God. You put an evangelical Christian and a white dude in a room, and you put a black evangelical Christian in a room, the two white dudes are gonna link up, and the black dude like, hey, aren't we both evangelical Christians? That's the problem with black men. And a lot of that comes down to black men being afraid. And going back to the colorism part, it manifests where a lot of these dudes don't see value in building. They just looking to fuck or get fucked. And that's why because even when in Golden State, when you look at Steph Curry, one of the things that pissed me off so bad was that "Fuck Steph Curry" song that people came out, and I was like, "You motherfuckers! It's only a couple of light-skinned dudes in the NBA. God damn! From Jordan, hell, before Jordan, y'all had all these people, and a couple of light-skinned dudes come up, and y'all like shriveling up, like you scared. Drake come up, oh my god! And I'm like, wow." And what it really showed me is it showed me that's the depth of insecurity it is. And it's really sad because a lot of these dudes will die for that shit. They really will. And as far as light-skinned male privilege, I tend to dismiss that because the reality is they'll shoot a black light-skinned dude just as fast as they'll shoot a black dark-skinned dude. If you don't believe me, Hispanics are light-skinned, Arabs are light-skinned, and they got a pet name for them. If you an Arab, you a terrorist. If you a Latin, you fucking, ICE to get your ass. So just because you light skin don't give you an absolute pass. I will say white people do get a little bit more comfortable with you enough to show you how racist they can be. But this thing about privileges, we don't get privileges like light skinned women do as far as increased sexual marketplace value. That can translate. So anyway, I know I'm kind of jumping on a lot of different shit.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm gonna shut it down in a few minutes, man, because it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. But go ahead.
Let me come back.
Y'all, everybody make a last.
I want to respond to him before he finishes.
Okay. Let me let Mr. Research talk, and then Tony, we'll come to you, and then we go. Don't worry, I'll come to you. Go ahead, Research.
I apologize. White man cut me off.
You're a white man. I know. I mean, he's crazy, dog. I know.
Look, check this out. Look up Tingis, Africa. They populated Hispania. Hispania is Spain. Long before white folks came along in 1100 BCE. The reason I say all that, it kills dark argument. We are all descendants of Tingis, Africa. Okay, because Tingis Africa by date supersedes white folks walking all the way from Germania over to Spain. Okay, so anytime these white folks bring that argument up, I had a Spanish historian said, I teach history. I don't know nothing about that, and I gave him the dates of the wars that happened that proved that, and then he shut up and then left my page. My point is, gentlemen. I don't know who's doing coffee over there. Who's stirring coffee?
I don't know. But
all right, so it's like this here, gentlemen. We gotta stop taking on female talking points. Light skin, dark skin, colorism is female talking points. Why does Chrissy have all these fans? Why does Cynthia G have all these fans? Because it's women and men. Men are taking on too much female talking points. They're taking on too much female arguments. And then we come into the BMC male square and we start having these female created topics. Who created the term colorism? A female did. because colorism is only the caste system, caste, that the white man created back in the time when he used to when he used to enslave gypsies, when people in Egypt used to enslave people, when Arabs didn't like what that black dark-skinned dude Nimrod was doing in Babylon, or should I call it Iraq, or should I call it the Tower of Babel, or should I call it Babel? It's all the same place. So I'm giving you all this information to let you guys know, having these female discussions, female created terms within black male space is bringing us down. I should be thinking about, how can I build with man of tomorrow? He got a trucking line. Should I go sign up to Master P's company, Master P the rapper's company, and try to get a truck and try to fuse with a man of tomorrow? Or should I be over with AM1 trying to create a business with him so we can dominate, hire more brothers, hire more brothers, hire more brothers? We are wasting our collective energy with 8, 9, or 18 dudes on a live stream talking about cartoons, video games, and what the hell these females are talking about. I got 10 G's. If you don't have 10 G's, go to your damn boss. Hey, I want to do some overtime because I want to sit up here and invest with Man of Tomorrow. I want to invest with AMW. Hey, I want to go be supervisor so I can make an extra $5,000 a year, so I can invest with LAR Movement, so I can sit up here and try to get O'Shea show on BET. Hey, I want to be manager of the damn McDonald's, so I can get some extra money to make some extra moves and do some extra shit. We not doing that. We're talking about what the fuck females done created. We're talking about what the fuck females is talking about. We sitting up there. Why is O'Shea show the way it is? Like I had to tell somebody. I'm gonna wrap up, O'Shea. I know I'm been long.
Go ahead.
I had to tell somebody. Check this out. Mr. Researcher done had 5 channels. I've been around since 2007. I had a 42,000 subscriber channel. I had a 30-something subscriber channel. Alpha Male Wisdom was 20-something subscribers. Do I give a fuck about that? No, because I'm too busy trying to make shit happen. O'Shea had to tell me to turn my damn AdSense on. All those channels I had, I didn't give a fuck about views. I didn't give a fuck about subscribers. I was trying to help dudes. I was talking man is the prize before dudes even realized it was a term. My point in making this conversation right now is we spend too much time talking about what females have created, female talking points, all that bullshit. Me and Man of Tomorrow was talking about how we, just between me and Man of Tomorrow, can possibly have a black version of Comic-Con. That's what I'm spending my time on. Plus, I invested in Wakanda. Plus, I invested in a vape company. Stop wasting all this time talking about what these bleeding tampon females are talking about, and these do-nothing white boys who need us to go to military war for them just so they can survive. I love you, brothers, but we spend too much time doing that. Go be a manager so you can really find out how it is to create some shit, create a team up underneath you, get that extra money so you can invest in AM1 and bring him on. Last point. Gentlemen, at some point in time, we got to realize as black males, when BET comes up for sale, we got to be ready to buy it. You can't be relying on me, MOT, and O'Shea to do it. When XXL comes up for sale, when World Star comes up for sale, hell, if we want to put together a Prince museum, stop doing just enough, because that's why we having these female conversations. That's why a dude in the chat room is making slick mouth conversations like Coon and all this other stuff, because a lot of us males are living too broke, and we need to stop. No, I'm gonna take the gloves off. We living too broke, and we got to sit up here and compete with the white man and defeat him by becoming managers, supervisors, and pulling other black men into our companies instead of just cashing a check. And I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. No, those are good points. Those are good points. Let me do this real quick. And guys, I do know aware that we had a situation on the websites, people trying to spam the forum. So I will get that taken care of. So guys, thank you so much for supporting us. Killer Java Joe, I disagree. Light-skinned people historically have been used as a buffer class to segregate darker blacks. Light-skinned people created the brown black test. Dwayne, $15. DJ Jarvis, $9.99. Okay, let me go to Tony real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the rest of the night and go to Larry by say last statement. Go ahead, Tony.
When I give a historical analysis, I'm attempting to try to understand what's happening. I wasn't attempting to trumpet the virtue of light-skinned men. I was making that analysis to show the ridiculous nature, the absurdity of the discussion in the first place. That's what I was doing. So to encapsulate what I'm saying, if we just want to be basic about it, again, using history as a reference point, there was no particular color phenotype in Africa. Africans had many different shades of many different colors. Is the argument ridiculous? Of course it is. Is the argument absurd? Of course it is. But the point here is for us to acknowledge it. It is not simply, yes, black women, and I agree with the last brother. He was right. We do need to be addressing more tangible topics. But there's a problem. There's a saying. You have to get rid of the little irritations. You have to address that because little irritations add up to be big problems. And we have to acknowledge where that comes from. Is it bullshit? It is absolutely bullshit. We deal with it, throw it out the door, and move on. But let's not act like it doesn't exist. Colorism isn't, as much as we want to blame black women for this argument, colorism is an argument that goes way back before Chrissy. It goes back before anyone else. This is some madness that was external to our culture that we internalized. So we have to get rid of this. We have to say, well, look, like what the brother said, let's charge this shit to the game and let's keep it moving. Now, if women want to follow off into that foolishness, let them go there. Let them deal with that situation. But we should be concentrating on taking over and ruling the world. So my analysis was not geared toward putting light-skinned black men over dark-skinned black men. It was done to show the contradiction and the absurdity of the damn discussion in the first place. So I'm done.
No, some good points. Some good points. Let's go to LAR real quick. LAR, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. That's just another great discussion. I appreciate being on the panel. I appreciate all y'all brothers. Y'all know y'all all juggernauts. At the end of the day, to me, it's like it's very simple. We're gonna have to lay the groundwork to have something for black men to grow upon and build upon. If we're not doing that, we're not doing nothing. Just like Tony was just talking about, issues like colorism and media and all of this other stuff, what does that do for us in the long term? Nothing. Just like Q was talking about, nothing. Like, unless we're talking about controlling it, we shouldn't be talking about the ramifications of being controlled by it. If you want to be if we're going to be the leaders of our community, we're going to have to think like leaders and worry about leadership type stuff. So if that's what we're going to do, let's do it. I'm out rather.
All right. Shout out to Howard Cooper. Miss Richard be on point. Sup, O'Shea. And sorry. Let's go to Edward real quick. Edward, and then AM1 and Manna tomorrow, and then we'll be out of here because it's like 5 in the morning. Almost 5 in the morning. Go ahead, Edward.
Well, appreciate the invite. I mean, going back to Tony, no, I understood what you were trying to say. It's just I know how people think as far as the audience, so I just wanted to make that clarification, that caveat. So I knew what you were trying to explain, and I appreciate that. But you know how people think, and I'm gonna segue into that to address the very super chat. It was talking about light-skinned people have been used as a buffer system. Actually, no. Actually, your women have been used as a buffer system. You actually look at the way the laws and the policies have been crafted. we are in a matriarchy in a black community, and even Monahan stated that partly because a lot of the policies affected black people differently. Now, we could argue whether that's on purpose or not. You could definitely in the last 30, 40 years say that that's been more on purpose, as people have tried to make the whole American society more of a matriarchy, could even control white men. So the women have not always, but the women have been used as a buffer. But see, the problem is black men, black people in general are too busy, and this goes to what Mr. Research was saying, wanting to pay attention to the colorism argument, because a lot of black men ain't got no nuts to actually stand up to females. And when I say stand up to them, I don't mean argue with them. I just simply mean hold your ground as far as what, Mr. Research says, let's in your bubble. And this goes back to what I said about black men have a bad habit of wanting to defer to women. That's why they feel like they can fight us all the time, because they believe they can wear us down, because they don't believe we'll trade them in for something else. That's the second thing. Third thing is understand that the colorism argument is always talked about in context of sexual value. And what I always find, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done with it, is black women stay, and this is way before Chrissy, because let's be clear here, black women historically have passed down colorism to their daughters. Men don't pass it down, women do. And a lot of guys that are colorists, usually you got to look no further than their mama as to her being a Bunny Ruckus type chick. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. Black women are very big about bitching about the white beauty standard. I have yet to see Chrissy or Cynthia G or any of these colorism queens actually talk about attacking and destroying the white beauty standard. They actually like the white beauty standard. They just don't like their place in it. And this goes back to why they chase white men, because even if they get lower grade white men, they're getting a white man that nobody else can give them. A black man can never give them, which is fake white status. So anyway, yeah. Thanks.
No, I agree. No, good point. Let's go ahead. MOT and then whoever else has anything else to say. MOT. Want to give us some last words?
You can find me at Black Man's Congregation. We do this show once a week on Sundays. We have a Facebook group called Black Man's Congregation Men Only. I just want you to keep your comments inside the group, specific to the topics at hand on the show. We don't want to turn our Facebook group into anything that's already out there. So that's about it. I do the show with Joe from Black Male Talk. That's what we do once a Sunday. And what we do is we focus on black male issues, and we pull no punches. And this is for everybody's own good if you're black. So,
all right, and you got to add me to that group too. Shout out to Black.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, add me in there. And anybody got? I don't know if AM1.
Oh yeah, no. All I want to say is again, I'm kind of new in the game, whole Negro Manosphere, as far as O'Shea and the show. Big respect to all you brothers out here. It's always dope building with y'all, and just a chat room. Panel with intelligent black men, keeping it real peaceful. I think it is important, based on kind of what Q was saying, just to piggyback off that, it is important to sort of leave no stone unturned and being strategic about this thing as far as black men building, discussing a wide array of topics. I would say 80-20 rule. That's my thing. 80% we should be talking about absolute forward progress. And with that other 20%, also leave no stone unturned looking at the fuckery that we need to point out and single out, so we can use that to leverage, nudge, or outright attack and browbeat the dumbass niggas that's holding us back, because we do have to address the dead weight niggas who are sticking in dead weight mentalities and who are being more feminine about this shit. So I agree. A lot of these topics and female talking points are counterproductive or more neutral, but I do believe we need to address them at the very least for the different strata of brothers who are tapping in with this show. We got like the incel dude, or dudes of just different caliber of game level and understanding. Certain topics do need to be discussed because not everybody is ready for everything. Like some of the shows O'Shea has where they talking about women in Brazil and whatnot. Some of the stuff I'm like, okay, I guess it's not for me, but then not everything has to be for me. So I like how there's a lot of different approaches as far as what the topics on this channel. But I feel like for the most part, real heavy hitter type topics are being addressed for the most part. That's definitely why I fuck with this. And I think it's real big. I think it's real dope. But yeah, some of these topics, we do got to pick them apart and just really peep game, especially the stuff women are doing. We do need to pull the curtain back and see what they're talking about, because a lot of stuff that's being discussed in social media and on YouTube does trickle out to the real world. And we have dudes out here confused, not understanding. So we do need to look into it's reconnaissance. You know what I'm saying? We do need to look into what they're doing and what they're talking and peep game. So we're prepared for that. You see what I'm saying? I'll leave it at that. Peace and respect to the brothers.
All right. And listen, man, let me say something to you guys real quick. You niggas who want to come in, see, it's already late, like 5. Like, I would have cussed some of you motherfuckers out. I won't even see, because it's late, nigga. It's late. It's like 5 in the morning. I would cuss your ass out, but it's so late and I got neighbors and shit. So here's the thing. If you don't enjoy what's going on here, you don't like what's going on here, a motherfucker who is like really not trying to be a bitch, they will just not even comment, like not even watch it. But then if you want to, come in here like, I don't like what's going on, it's no value, then this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna help you help yourself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just no, don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry. I got you. I'm gonna send you on that midnight train to Georgia. One way ticket. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got you. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna pack your bags. I'm gonna put them on that train for your ass. And don't email me about, can I come back? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't worry about it. I got you. Because again, if you don't want to be here, let me help you out, motherfucker. Hotel. Okay, the right, brother Casper. Okay. All right. Let's go to who else wants something to say? Before we get the fuck up out of here.
I'll say this.
Be quick, please. Be quick now.
I'm gonna make it quick.
Okay, go ahead.
The AM, I think his name is AM1, brother. He talked about the spook that sat by the door.
Hello.
And there was a line in that movie where Dawes is having a conversation with Freeman. And then Dawes asked Freeman, he said, do you think that you're the only nigga with a sense of outrage? And then Freeman says these words. He said, then hit back. Join us and hit back. And therein lies the objective. When you hit back against what's really bothering you, when you hit back against what the real root of the problem is, we won't need to have these discussions anymore. We can stop talking about these discussions, but when you hit back against what's really bothering you, but we're afraid to do that. So when you overcome your childish fear of the dominant society, we'll stop having these conversations. And I'm done.
All right. Anybody else got something to say?
I'll be real quick.
Y'all make it quick now, because
I'll be real quick.
I got to use the restroom. Go ahead, brother.
Wolf Lifestyles on YouTube. I'm on the Patreon, Building Dudes. We got a bunch of students on the Wolf Lifestyle. We teach rules 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want to know what that is, check it out on the Wolf side. I got students who are trying to increase their pay rates, trying to increase the amount of money they make. We working with brothers who are creators. There's one brother who creates his own phones named Jonathan. Jonathan just got kicked out, and he didn't follow Wolf Rule number 1. And we talked about that. Now I'm going to try to raise a little money to help him out, to get him on his feet while I'm working on his resume. He actually sent it to me. We're going to restructure that. We're going to get him some jobs. I got a married brother who's trying to get some leadership in his household. He done followed the Wolf rules. He's amazed that it works as well as it does. A brother in Thailand, Shy brother, same thing. So my point is, man, even though I'm busy, we're trying to give back, brothers. And we don't have time, just like with O'Shea, with this childish mama told me to disrupt the men discussing. Mama taught me to go into the chat room and say female stuff. Mama taught me my sisters taught me how to disrespect black men because, as a little boy, all I knew how to do was talk shit and name call. All that's over with. You got more and more black men dying, homeless, getting kicked out of their homes for not being able to pay their mortgage. You dudes don't have time to just be entertained. You got to get into some real conversations and some real elevation. Within 5 years, most of us on YouTube won't even be on YouTube no more. And then you'll be listening to black dudes talking about how to curl your hair. You got to recognize what the real game is. So if you want to check me out, I'm on Mr. Research, Wolf Lifestyle. Go subscribe over there.
Yeah. I'm a Patreon, and here's a Tony's LAR movement. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you gonna have a Jerry Curl channel. Let me just do this before I get up out of here. Y'all go check out my newest video. I just dropped a video. It was called the Pookie Ain't Gonna Make It Syndrome Test. Okay, this is how you know a nigga ain't gonna make it, and you perform these diagnoses. Okay, so some of y'all who are not, let me before I get up out of here, who is not subscribed to my main channel, because many of y'all know this channel, I just kind of have, I don't do my individual shit on this channel. I do all my individual shit on the other channel. So this channel is more like a community channel. I have like, you know, my vlog when that's on here, and then I have all these hangouts over here, and then my original channel, I got my, now of course it's not as active as it used to be, because you know I had to keep taking it down and keep putting it back up, keep taking it down. I think if they would have never fucked with it, I'd have had like about 100-some-thousand subscribers on that channel. But anyways, I've been trying to get it back up to what it used to be. It's not what it was like 2 years ago. My channel used to move, but I got the Pookie Ain't Gonna Make It Syndrome Test video. So go check that out on my main channel. It is a classic, you know what I'm saying? My main channel is O'Shea Duke Jackson. It has almost 50,000 subscribers. That's my main channel. So if you want to subscribe to me over there, go to just type in O'Shea Duke Jackson, 49,000 subscribers. I want to thank everybody that came on tonight, man. You know, I really wish I could have kept it longer, but unfortunately it is 5 in the morning. But tomorrow we're going to have 2 shows. I'm going to do the British show with the UK podcast. We do it every Saturday. Sunday, I got a big show about immigration, Africans versus African Americans. That's probably going to be a big show in the immigration talk. So if you want to get on that show, I'm telling you, my Sunday shows over here is hot. Every Sunday, the motherfuckers is got like, it's always packed, 700 to 800 people on the show. So watching the show. So if you want to get on my Sunday shows, those YouTubers in my Sunday shows is not just for just anybody. It's just you got at least, I gotta know you, and you have to be at least like, you know, Mr. Research, a man, you know, somebody like the Tony, people like that. But it's really subscribe, you know, to YouTubers stuff like so. My Sunday is like an all-star show, and sometimes let's see, got my super shipper difference. So you guys be ready for the Sunday shows. They always kick off, so we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna try like get Anthony Brian Logan, some of my other friends, Wode Maya, to get in on this one. So Sundays are off the chain. We have the African versus African American immigration debate. In LAR movement, if I can get him to come back on, you know, I'm using name for views. Thank all you brothers, man, all you guys, you know, Mr. Research, you know, you know, your content's really helped me. Tony, man, you just the brightest dude in the world. MOT, you bright, and you got like 45,000 suits. LAR, you used to have a curl, but you know how that is. Who else on the panel? Let me say something nice about AM1. You look like Steph Curry. Shout out to you, brother. Nah, man, I appreciate you too, man. You're a good brother, man. Thank you for coming on. And guys, out tomorrow, I'll make sure if we do a show, another one at night, I'll make sure I have it a little bit longer. I can't do no BGS 8-hour show, but one day I'm gonna try to do it. All right. So I'll leave it up a little longer. Sunday will be a little longer. So guys, if you want to get in on that, come on, let me know. Email me right now. Because there was even a show, believe it or not, I had sent an invite to Black Ram. Now, Black Ram has over 22,000 subscribers, gets a hell of views. He couldn't even get on the show. That's just how packed it was, right? He couldn't get on. So if Black Ram can't get on, what did that tell you about these Sunday shows? These Sunday shows are something. So let me know ahead of time, guys. Thank you for coming in. I got to get the fuck up out of here. Hotep. Peace.